Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and little boys and girls, to our show, the new episode of
Two halves and a 45.
with your co-hosts, Mr. L and Mr.
Controversial, but I ain't no mister.
Welcome again, everyone, and we would like everyone to give everyone a big shout out for tuning in to our new show today. Today we got some exciting topics as always, and we're gonna start off by saying Chelsea. We're gonna go straight to North London, everybody. Let's come to the journey with us, and don't worry, your plane ticket is covered when you're hanging out with these guys here. We got you. So we're going to Chelsea, we're going to London, the blue half of London, and we're gonna say, which player got the best deal, would you say, Mr. Controversial?
Right. So funny enough, we're in Chelsea and we're actually moving out of Chelsea. But for me, out of the top three deals that's going on in regards to Kovacic going to Manchester City, Mason Mount going to Manchester United, and lastly, Havertz going to Arsenal.
Mason
me,
Mount,
honestly,
allegedly for Mason Mount, allegedly,
because it hasn't went through yet. It hasn't went through. So for me, honestly, I think I'd say Havertz going to Arsenal is really the better deal. And I know it's a bit crazy but for me it's like I've seen Havertz at Leverkusen, right? That's where he was from.
Yes,
I've seen him play. And I know, playing on FIFA doesn't make that much of a difference. But, for me, whenever I used to see him, I used to watch his games coming up. I used to really believe that he was the next, central attacking mid up, right? So I thought that it was really going to go somewhere. So him being at Chelsea, I mean, yeah, he did win a Champions League final. But I mean, I always felt that he just needed that one person to really unlock his game. And I feel like him actually going to, Arsenal's Arteta here, he's really going to be able to become a big threat in the final third. What do you think?
well, I beg to differ.
Okay.
Winners are clearly the guys that went to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, and that's
For sure. I mean, come on, max contracts for everybody, blood. Jeez.
That's all I'm going to say. Case closed. You can continue on down the path of Jabroni Drive, but I'm stopping at this lane right here, getting off. Those guys got the best deal. All I'm going to say. With that said, we're going to come out and we're going to talk about the Bosman rules from 95, that ruling. Who and Mbappe mixed in with that ruling. What are your thoughts, Mr. Controversial?
Honestly, so just for our fans back home, to who don't know, just a little tidbit on the Bosman Rule. Pretty much, he was the player that made it possible for players to be able to run down their contracts and sign with whatever team they wish to, putting really the choice of going anywhere into the hands of the players. Because prior to that 1995 ruling, pretty much you were at the beck and call of the clubs. So that's a little tidbit there. And for me, Mbappe, he's really encapsulating the true potential of what that rule could be. Because just so anybody didn't know, his deal was really a 2-year deal with a chance of an extension. And now he's at a good place because, for one, he's not going to be hated by the fans because he's telling the fans like, hey, I want to stay that last year. I want to play here. And then, I want to go somewhere else because, I mean, he has been a great servant to them, obviously, scoring a lot of goals, winning the League
8
One
years?
Farmers League. Huh?
8 years?
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's a long time. I mean, he's young, yeah, so that really is a long time, and it's a good time for him to, say he wants to go somewhere else. Also, too, not to mention the money aspect, getting that big pay raise just to be like, okay, now I finally made that money in the last 2 years that I can go somewhere else. Honestly, congratulations.
In my thoughts about that, well, he can get the money from PSG way easier than Real Madrid.
True.
he's been playing in the French league, League On, aka the Farmers League, for quite
Farmers.
some time, planting yams and everything.
Dum,
You
dum,
know,
dum, dum,
maybe
dum,
some
dum.
cassava, you know, maybe some cabbage, whatever they plant over there, blood. He's been doing really well. People does refer to as the Farmers League, just as similar to the Bundesliga. It's a one league team. He has the world in the palm of his hands. I mean, you get a call from the president himself telling you, hey, you need to stay, be the face of the league. You'll go to Madrid, but then what? You got Vinny Jr. That's the side he likes to play on, which is the left-hand side. And he doesn't want to play in the middle. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Move Vinny Jr. in the middle? Or are you going to put Hosselu in the middle, you know, after the Benzema?
I
So
mean, don't they
for
even have
me,
Hendricks coming?
I don't even know. Hendricks is pretty young too, so I think he's 16 years old or something like that. So he might take a time, go through La Masia. Oh, sorry, I think La Masia is for Barcelona, but
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through the Real Madrid academy, just like all of them, Rodrigo, and Vinny Jr., and then catch the playing style and then move on. But that's my thought on that. The Bosman rule, great ruling. It puts back the power in the players' hands to go ahead and take care of what they need to take care of so they can be also financially stable. So with that, we're going to go on, everybody, and welcome you guys to the highlight of the show. You guys know where we're going. We just left England. We went to Spain. Sorry, all the way through France. And we're going to come right back to the corner. That's on Know Your Road Boulevard and Jabroni Drive, fam. Come to the controversial corner. Bring your drinks, bring your stuff. We don't matter. We don't mind. It's controversial time. With that
All right.
said, Mr. Controversy, what do you think about the upcoming World Cup for women? Because we're going to big up the ladies. What's your thoughts? Who's the winners? What do you expect from this World Cup that is coming up?
Right. So we're gonna see a lot of big hitters. But we all know that America's gonna win. Next topic. Let me stop. But for being honest, let's be honest. You know, the England women's national team, they're really coming up. Big shout out to Bunny. She's in the you know, she's a reggae girl. I don't believe they're actually in the Women's World Cup this year. But
No, they are. They
they
are.
are.
Yes,
Woo!
they are.
I
Along with
was
the
wrong.
Philippines,
So shout out
along
to
with the
Bunny.
Netherlands. So you do have some teams that didn't, it's not naturally a part of the World Cup, but give them big shout outs. The women are improving, they're stepping up.
Yep,
Teams
for
that
sure.
that are not actually have gone to the World Cup now has stepped up massively. They have gone to the World Cup. They're doing good. They're bringing exposure to the women's game and everything. If you could see my mask, it says BRA, and that means everybody that's the Brazil, you know, and my Mr. Controversial had mentioned to me before we came on here, he wanted to give a shout out from a nice lady from this country here. Go ahead,
All
Mr.
right.
Controversial. What do
Yes,
you
so
want
a
to say?
big shout out to Marta Silva, I believe that's what her name is, for making it to her 6th World Cup. But you know, yeah, of course.
Impressive.
Impressive. Also impressive. 0 World Cups. But no worries. This is the controversial corner. You knew that was coming. Let's move on to the next topic.
Magnificent. Magnificent. But hey, who knows? They might take it this year. My pick for this year is the winner of the World Cup, blood. That's my pick. Congratulations to all the ladies. Please go ahead and check out the Women's World Cup that's coming up very shortly. You heard it right here. You heard it on this channel. You heard these two men showing the love to all the ladies. And with that said, so we're going to go straight back to Spain again. And as I said, your tickets are free, everybody. Come on this journey here. What do you think about the treatment in Spain of Vinny Jr.?
Yeah, honestly, the fact that it's happened again in this short of a span, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, La Liga really has to La Liga, Serie A. I do, I want to say the Premier, but honestly, I can't even really say the Premier League. They've honestly been doing a tremendous job. Every match starting off how they do, with that, that support. It's really telling, as the biggest league to be doing something of that sort and working through these controversies and stuff and still being, able to be on the better side of that, just putting the players first. They just got to follow it, dude. Like, come on, bro. Like, we are in a society where the color of your skin shouldn't matter. We're here to watch the beautiful game. So why not let all of us come together and watch the beautiful game? I'm not saying you can't go ahead and disrespect the opposing teams, but you don't have to disrespect them by talking about their skin tone. Being black, being white, being Asian doesn't make you less of a football player. You should be celebrating that. That's my 2 cents.
My sense on it is racism should be stomped out from the whole world, not the game only, not the respective games, but the whole world. Kick racism to the curb. It doesn't need to be in our society, period, point blank. And that's all I got to say about that. So everybody that is of this nature should be educated and should move on. We're all brothers, we're all sisters, and we all should love each other. That's what I'm going to say about that. But on a side note, not a very small side note, but a huge one. Congratulations to one Vinny Jr. for getting a sporting complex from his school in Brazil, I believe, named after him. Great and magnificent achievement. Fantastic achievement. And with that,
shout out, no doubt.
we are coming down to the third, almost the final topic. So I hope you guys are all nice, maybe a little tipsy. Here we go. The last one. 105, 105, 105 with some dollar signs, more than likely a hell than a cash sign, the pound sign for Declan Rice. 105, fam. 105. Got duped, got touched, got tricked, got bamboozled. Crazy. What are your thoughts?
Now, look, it's funny, right? And I'm just gonna say this. It's funny how right when I apologize for saying right when Manchester City went ahead and bid for that 90 million that it was rejected. Right after that, Arsenal said they were going to pay the 105 mil. That got accepted. And then literally right after, Piers Morgan, staunch supporter of Arsenal, comes out with allegations that Manchester City accepted $30 million in 2012, 2011. Now, how is it that Arsenal has $105 million out of nowhere? Okay.
Allegedly.
And now, how is it that we now have proof that Manchester City accepted $30 million in 2011, 2012? And now also, too, it's also one of the FFP charges that they have levied against them. Hold on. Let me think of the logic.
Well, you just went all the way from my Declan Rice 105 to your now lawyer or becoming a lawyer of Manchester City fan. We're not in the court. I asked you about
I'm just saying, blood.
That's what I asked you about,
me, but hey, if you're gonna do that 105, man, I would honestly, it's not a great deal. Don't get me wrong. Declan Rice is a really good player, upcoming talent, but the English tax thing that's going on, it's really crazy. Had he been a German player, a French player, or a Spanish player, he'd at most probably 50, maybe 60 million. But 105 for Declan Rice, only won one title. Nah, not for me.
Well, for me, I think they said he's a defensive midfielder. He plays that for England to a holding midfielder. For a guy that doesn't score many goals at all, I'm not saying he doesn't score goals, but I don't think he scores 5 goals a season like Thomas Souček. that he formerly played with or plays with now, because he's not at Arsenal yet, scores more goal than him for 105 million. The English players' sales has always been some ridiculous set of money for a set of guys that, hey, face it, nobody in England has won the World Cup or a major trophy since 66. Again, but that doesn't summarize anything, because a lot of other country players hasn't won anything. But I guess that's the way the English makes it. $105 million for me should go to a record goal scorer. Yes, they have Gabriel Jesus, but
that's ridiculous.
Right now, Gabriel Jesus is not a 30-season Premier League goal game player. That's a Hurricane, Holland, Mo Salah did it once.
Levin.
And you know, things like, well, if we go into Lewandowski, that's in Spain. But you kind of get the gif. Mbappe, if we're going to go there, you get the gif. But for me, 70 million, 75 probably, but 70 million should have covered that cost. They all got a shot in the arm when Manchester City decided to make a bid, and they all, I guess, got a little rattled. And then we'll see. We'll see if he goes there. I would say Arsenal is the better choice if he wants to play week in, week out. Manchester City, he has Calvin Phillips. Excuse me. I mean, he has Rodri. No pun intended. To contend with. So, hey, he made the better choice. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to thank you for coming on the Controversial Corner. Once again, I see some of you guys might be tipsy, some might be drunk, some might be high. Hey, this is the Controversial Corner. You can do what you want to do here, because this is our corner, this is your corner, and this is the people's corner from Mr. Controversial, my co-host, my brother. Thank you once again for joining us on the Controversial Corner. And for the last topic, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about transfers.
Dun, 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 dun.
The transfers today. David De Gea, free agent. Man, you don't have a keeper. Jeffrey Kondogbia, from Atletico to Marseille. I wonder why. Nicholas Jackson, from Villarreal to Chelsea. Who knows this guy?
Who knows? Who knows?
Fabio Cavallo, from Liverpool to RB Leipzig. No wonder why they got Dominic Szoboszlai. Milan Skriniar, from Inter Milan.
Allegedly.
To free agency. I wonder how much money he's going to make for all his children if he got non-blood. And we're going to go on. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mr. Cheeky, Mr. Chelsea, sat on the bench for a couple of years. Finally, he followed Tomori straight to Italy. And the rest of them, like Smallings and what's that guy's name? His name was on the tip of my tongue, but it ended up going. So I guess it ain't important. No disrespect to you, my friend. This is all just kicks. We're gonna go on and say James Maddison, the guy that sent out a couple tweets a couple of years ago talking about Tottenham, and we won't say allegedly what he said, but you can go look it up. We all know what he said. What is in Tottenham today? We talked about Kai Havertz, from the blue side to the red side. What a jump ship. Just like his pal, the number 5 he used to hang out with, Jorginho. Hey, what to say? We're going to say Edward Mendy, from Chelsea to Saudi.
Money League.
Hey, you all know we're going to come and say Marcus Thuram on a free transfer from Gladbach to Inter Milan. And where we're going to stop today, because there are so many more, and we're going to continue this next week, is Mateo Kovacic, the replacement for Ilkay Gundogan. I say this man got 4 Champions League, a La Liga title. Not sure if he won the Premier League, but maybe he has. And if he has, I say is a shot in the arm for Manchester City, because they get Gundogan out of there, shipped his tail to Barcelona, and bring in somebody smarter.
Do want to say
I'm just
Grindo's
kidding,
a super
Gundo.
legend.
I'm just kidding. You're my boy.
Super legend.
What do you say, Mr. Controversial?
So my final thoughts on all these transfers, I do want to give a big shout out. And I know, it might seem come off as like a joke, but Phil Jones, great, a good guy for his team over the years. Granted, he's
12
like
years.
boss, but
12 years of one of the most devastated, dependable, upstanding, credible, fantastic, professional bench warmers.
yeah. Well, that's gonna be.
And that's my thoughts, everybody, on that one.
Oh man. So think
Oh
that caps
man.
off another beautiful episode here.
But before we cap that off,
All right.
we left the best for last. And the best is, as you guys can see on my mask, this week we're going to be talking about, this week we're going to be focusing on BRA, stand for the Brazilian Serie A.
Tell it, blood. Tell it, blood. How could I have forgotten this?
Brazilian Serie A, it was started in 1959, and since 26, meaning 2006, it went up to 20 teams. The current champions are Palmeiras. You guys should check them out. Beautiful football. You guys watch them all the time, all over the world, all in Europe, all over China, Mexico, everywhere you can think of. They are there. They're representing. Check them out. Give the Brazilian people a shout out. Give us a like. Subscribe to our channel, because you guys know what this is. This is the two halves and a
45. All right.
Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And please do continue to like, subscribe, support, and join us for our next episode that you will be seeing in the shorts coming up shortly by our lovely, new, improved, and the best ring card girl we can have, Miss KK. And next week, I'll sure to have some hand signs to show up how K looks in sign language, people. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good evening. Thank you for joining us once again. And we will be putting the button down so you can leave comments soon. On behalf of Mr. Controversial and myself,
Take it easy.
we are the ones. We'll see you next time.